talking franchises here, bud.
Ahoy there, mateys. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of fun. That's right. Welcome to the franchise. I'm your host, the D Pirate Ship. That was coined by Logan. Daniel Ehrenberg. He came up with it.
It is
Never
about
heard
coins.
that term before?
I thought that was a joke because there's a movie all about coins.
That's true. A lot of coin play in this film. We'll talk about it. But let me bring in my first mate. All right. And he's over there at the wheel. And when I say wheel, I mean big wooden wheel. Am I right? Giant wooden wheel. Commandeered by Zoe Saldana in this film. All right, let's talk about it. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. What's up, Logan?
Arg. Ahoy there, matey.
Yeah. Daniel, here, that should be it. Daniel Ehrenberg.
Oh, Logan Adar.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Neither of them quite work, but they almost do. So that's good enough for us here on the franchise. Let's talk about this. We haven't done Pirates of the Caribbean. That's like maybe the biggest franchise. Like,
Yeah.
remember I said that about Transformers. I was like, this is the biggest franchise we've ever done that we've never done before.
These were the big two, though.
It's the biggest one that's available left. And this is the other one, Pirates. After this, get ready for next year. We're gonna be covering some obscure nonsense.
Get ready for we'll do Avatar.
Get ready for our great episode on Freeway and Freeway 2 Confessions of a Trick Baby. That's what we'll do next year.
We'll do House and House 2, the second story. Next year, we'll get into all the good stuff. We're finally getting into the good stuff next year.
Yeah, next year, we're going to go fucking deep, dude. Get ready. Yeah. Deep dives all year long. But let's get rid of this pirate bullshit first. So I went to Disney World when I was 12, Logan. It was 1998, okay?
The year I was
born.
I never... What time of year? Am I born yet? I was born in August.
Wow. I got news for you. You're not born yet. It's like May or June.
Yeah, you're crazy going in August.
Yeah. It's going to be too hot. The lines are going to be too long. It's going to be crazy. You know what? I actually think it might have been like February because it was cold.
Wow.
I remember one day we went with like a lot of cousins and shit. It was like me and my dad and a bunch of cousins. And one day it was really cold outside, and I was like, let's go back to the hotel. My dad was like down, and our 8-year-old cousin Ben, no, I was 8 years old, so Ben was probably like fucking 4 or something. He was freezing. He was like, I want to go home. The mom's like, no,
you're not
you gotta stay out in the cold.
You're 12 years old.
12. I'm 12, right? So he's probably like 7 or 8. He's married now and successful, unfortunately. I guess it's fortunate. I got nothing against him, but I'm just jealous. But
married. You don't want to be married, do you? Or you just you want marriage? You just don't want the kids.
Right now, I live with a girl. It's the same thing as being married.
Yeah.
The only thing that ruins marriage is the kids.
That's not true. You say every marriage ends in divorce anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, most people should just
everybody cheats on each other. That's your thing.
That kind of is my thing. I'm not doing it though. I don't think either of us are cheating on each other.
You guys have been dating for like less than 2 years or something.
Yeah, it usually happens by now. I mean, in a normal relationship, not in one of mine.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I go on Pirates of the Caribbean. I went on that ride, okay? And it was like, I remember it feeling like really old-fashioned. Like some of Disney World felt modern. You walk on into like Tower of Terror, right? It felt like something that had just been built. And I was like, this fucking rules, even something like Space Mountain that had been there forever. Like it felt of the time, it'd been updated. You go into Pirates of the Caribbean, it's like, you think like my parents could have gone to this ride when they were kids, probably looked exactly the same.
Is that and so when that props to them? Aren't they probably going for an older theme?
I'm sure that they were. Yeah, this was like one of like the classic rides that were like grandfathered in.
I can't tell if you're being negative though. Like that sounds like
I'm
a
not
positive.
I'm not being negative. It just felt to me like a relic of the past. All I'm getting to is that when they announced this movie, I found it very curious. I was like, that makes sense. They want to make money from one of their theme park rides. You immediately go thinking about like what else could they do? Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Tower of Terror. What are they going to make movies out of? I still think it's crazy that there's not a Tower of Terror movie. I mean, they did one for like the Disney Channel years ago, but
Yeah, I feel like
that's like a major ride.
Okay.
Anyway, fucking.
I've said this before, but I've never been to anywhere cool like that because my parents didn't love me like yours loved you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was a kid, you know. It was like the
Me,
last.
I was a
hurrah.
child too once.
I know. No, you're right. No, I agree that your parents never loved you. But
Yeah,
the
yours
thing
at
about
least
me
did for a
is
little
like,
while.
no. But once I became a
And your mom still
teenager,
does.
yeah, my mom does now. But once I became a teenager, my dad stopped loving me.
Right. But here you got all
so
the love in the world.
this was like the last hurrah. He took me to Disney World the next day I grew up, and that was it. We never spoke again.
What about your sister? You still love her?
No.
Oh. That's sad. He doesn't care that she has that he has granddaughters?
He loves the granddaughters.
Okay. So he sees them even though he doesn't like your sister?
Yeah. But what'll happen is if my dad is still alive, when my nieces turn, 13, he'll turn on them.
Right. Well,
yeah. Because the thing about baby boomers is like once someone's old enough to have an opinion about anything, oh fuck them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You go fuck yourself immediately. But I thought it was weird. They announced this.
Is this not a water ride? Like you guys are in February.
Yeah, you're in a little
Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's heated up though. It's sort of muggy in there. I think so. It feels like the Caribbean.
Right.
Yeah.
So is Jack Sparrow a guy? Like
no, he's nothing to do with the ride. It was invented for the movie.
Wow. Okay.
After the movie, now they have an animatronic Jack Sparrow in there, right? But not at the time.
Yeah.
So I was all set for this movie to tank, and I was sort of excited about it. Like back then, you didn't get really big budget failures that often, and so
what are your thoughts on Depp at this point? You like him? Everybody likes him.
I'm a fan of Depp. Everyone likes Depp in 2003. What was he coming off of? He had done
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
I guess that was around this time, wasn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Secret Window. That's like the next
really?
year, I think. Anyway, but he was cool. He had done like Sleepy Hollow pretty recently, which was cool. And but I was like excited for it to fail. And then when it was out in theaters, The Country Bears came out in theaters. I mean, this was when it was still like in trailers. The Country Bears came out in theaters. And that was based on a theme park ride. The Country Bears. Familiar with the Country Bears?
Not even, no.
Okay.
I know the Berenstain Bears.
No, that's different. They're the champions of the Mandela effect. And they'd be in the Mandela Hall of Fame. Someone should set that up.
It's just all the family of the Berenstain Bears. All four of them. Oh, I guess that's the Mount Rushmore, not the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it would just be all four of them.
Yeah. Do you think that that Mount Rushmore is the Hall of Fame of presidents?
Say it again. The Mount Rushmore is the Hall of Fame of presidents?
Yeah. Do you think that that's what Mount Rushmore is? It's the President Hall of Fame.
But more than 4 people are allowed in the Hall of Fame, right? Like those people were definitely being.
But I just said something about the Mandela Hall of Fame, and you said, "What is it? 4 pictures of the Berenstain?" So what I did was flip that on its head and made you think that all Hall of Fames are Mount Rushmores. Do you not understand what I did? I played off of something you directly said and made a joke about it.
No, I get it, but of course the people on the Mount Rushmore would be in the Hall of Fame because those are the 4 best ones, right? Like if you're on the Mount Rushmore, you're in the Hall of Fame. But if you're in the Hall of Fame, doesn't
but
mean
you
you're on the Mount Rushmore.
moron. There is one Mount
Don't call me
Rushmore.
a moron.
Only one. Okay?
Right.
And there is no so I made a good joke, and it's like you
I don't
can't
even really
process
understand the jokes,
jokes. Logan, can we like? I don't stop the podcast. This isn't on the podcast.
We're back, everybody. That was crazy. What just happened?
It is so annoying. I'm holding auditions for a new co-host. Listeners, can you apply? Please.
Good luck. That's all I gotta say.
You have to edit the show too.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay. What are we talking about? I was like on a whole thing. Like I had a story. And,
I don't know.
you take over.
You were a young little boy. You went in February to go with your parents to go to
Not
the
my
Pirates.
parents, just my dad. They were
Oh, just
split
your
up.
dad to go to the Pirates, and you had a great time. But then you wanted them to fail because you liked the Care Bears more. I know it wasn't
The Country
Bears.
Bears, which
I
was a
know.
Disney ride.
All right, Country Bears. That's where we ended up.
Okay, so the same like a year before Pirates came out, but Pirates had already been announced. They released the Country Bears into theaters. It tanked. Okay, and I'm pumped. I'm like, great. Now we get to see an awesome tank job next year.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
No, the only two times I've ever been completely wrong about a movie's box office chances are this and Avatar. I really saw the trailers for both Pirates of the Caribbean and Avatar and literally had the thought, who in the world would want to watch this?
You don't
And they're two of the
understand
biggest hits ever.
adventures. You don't care about that at all.
What does that mean?
You don't. That's the thing about you. You don't really care about adventure movies. I feel like. And if
This is
it's
a thing you've decided recently, but like, do I not like Back
That's
to
real.
the Future and Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Well, you were
and-
too young to predict that they would be failures. I bet if you were,
I
like,
didn't see
12
Raiders
years
of the Lost
old-
Ark until I was like 18.
Why? Because you hate adventures.
Because my
That's my point
parents
exactly.
didn't. No, because my parents didn't show me anything.
No.
I didn't see E.T. till I was in my 20s.
Well, that's why you hate that movie too, I guess.
I know.
Yeah. How old was Henry? He wasn't little.
Everyone in any generation around mine, the Gen X, Millennials, Gen Z, they all saw E.T. when they were 5 years old. My parents could not give a fuck about me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Let's talk about the movie, I guess.
Yeah, please.
All right. Now I'm going to talk about awards shows. You understand that's just where they give awards out for the year. It's not like a mountain where they carve their faces in it.
Well, it fucking should be.
You think there should be an Oscar mountain, a Golden Globes mountain,
No.
just a bunch of mountains
Just
you
the
could
Teen
go
Choice
visit. Like
Awards
that's
mountain.
all the winners.
That'd be nice.
Okay.
Put a little slime on the mountain.
Don't talk about slime. It's not Halloween
Oh, yeah,
time
sorry.
anymore.
But it's not October anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you meant your fear, because your fear you didn't want me
Oh,
to talk about it.
no. Slime belongs in spooky season.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, you're right.
All right. So Disney decides they want to make this into a movie. All right. They get some scripts going. They don't like them. The original script was going to be that Johnny Depp is in prison, right? And Orlando Bloom is a prison guard. And he needs Keira Knightley to be saved. And so he frees Johnny Depp from prison so he could save him. That was the original script.
I don't like it.
All right. That's pretty much the same thing. Would have been just as bad. Now, the part of Jack Sparrow. Oh, so anyway, they replaced that writer with Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio, who wrote Shrek. But they wrote Aladdin for Disney, so that's why Disney knows them. So they're involved. They write the part of Jack Sparrow for Hugh Jackman, and they write the part of Jeffrey Rush for Robert De Niro. And De Niro turns the part down because he can't remember the last time a pirate movie made money, which fair enough. And Disney decides Hugh Jackman is too unknown at this point. They want more of a known quantity, so they get Johnny Depp in
Yeah,
there.
he has yet to do Van Helsing. Then we knew him as the man.
By the way, Hugh Jackman, you know how I've insisted for years that he's gay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you hear about his divorce?
Yeah.
I read that he made his ex-wife sign like one of the biggest NDAs in like divorce history.
Yeah.
And it's because he's gay.
Or
Or what?
she doesn't want him talking about the time every night when he dresses up as Van Helsing and dances around the living room.
I would argue that she has obviously been his beard for many decades now, and we've all known it. And, you know, he's over it.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right.
But the NDA, I would think that, like, if there was no NDA, then I would say he's going to come out of the closet soon. But that makes me think he's still going to be closeted.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, they offered the Jonathan Pryce role, which is the dad, Keira Knightley's dad.
By the way, I hope it's that he's gay. I hope it's not like something worse, like he's a murderer.
Oh, it 100% is.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Richard
The
Price
dad role that Jonathan Pryce ended up playing.
Oh.
They offered that role to Brian Cox from
Oh, wow.
Succession, and he turned the role down because he refused to work with Johnny Depp because he thought Johnny Depp was a fucking buffoon.
Wow. We could have had.
And he was right. He was really ahead of his time on that.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. We could have had a Hugh Jackman and Brian Cox reunion though. That would have been cool.
Oh, well, no, that's the next. That's I guess it's like a couple
Or is this the
months
same
before
year?
this,
2003? Is that both?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
That'd been crazy.
You better save my daughter, Wolverine.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
It
I
came
guess.
out and it made money.
Came out. Yeah, it did really well. They get the director Gore Verbinski. Verbinski, he was like a commercial and music video director. I don't know if you've seen the commercial with those frogs that go Bud. Why? Zer.
Oh, maybe. That's him.
Yeah, it's 3 frogs, and they each say a different syllable of the Budweiser name. And Gore Verbinski directed those commercials.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you enjoy the Budweiser frogs, you'll enjoy this. And it's he also did Mouse Hunt. That was his first feature film. And then he did, what was his movie after Mouse Hunt? The Mexican. Right. Yeah. He did this movie, The Mexican, which almost killed his career, honestly. Like it was Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt starring in that movie in the year 2000. Like it was literally a can't miss, and it fucking missed. And so he took a lot of the blame for that. And but he went into the horror. That's what you do when you fail in Hollywood. You just make a horror movie that'll get you back. So he does The Ring, and that's a big hit. And The Ring leads him here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, his career is pretty much dead at this point because he made, unfortunately, the Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp, and then A Cure for Wellness. Yeah, and both of those tags like real bad. I don't think he's made a movie since A Cure for Wellness.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But we should watch that, A Cure for Wellness.
It's on my list. It's super long.
Dane DeHaan. He's cool.
You mean the one true Harry Osborn?
Well, why do you say that?
Isn't he Harry Osborn?
Yeah, he is, but he's not the one true Harry Osborn. Maybe in your mind.
He is in my mind, kind of.
Did they never do Harry Osborn for the new movies?
I don't think that character's in the new movies.
That's what I asked.
I think the new movies, they were like, let's go ahead and not fuck around with goblin bullshit.
No, I mean it's fair. I was just wondering if they never did it.
No, they
It's a
ignored
good
all
choice.
those. Gwen Stacy, like let's do a whole new thing. I mean, even Mary Jane's not really in the movie. Like MJ is like a new
Yeah,
character.
she's like Michelle, whatever. And
Yeah,
Flash is like a nerd.
yeah, I like that Flash.
Yeah, he's cool.
That's a
He
good
was
Flash.
Ghostface, remember that? At the start
What?
of Scream 6.
Oh, that's right. He's one of those guys,
That's
right?
the best part of Scream 6. It's like, oh, this movie's gonna be different. And then no. It's
Yeah, you
not.
remember they looked down that alleyway that's clearly in Toronto.
No, that was New York City.
No, no,
Yep.
it's not.
Yep.
All right. So a lot of the script, Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio, they had previously worked on George Lucas. George Lucas was producing an adaptation of a video game called The Curse of Monkey Island. And Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio wrote a draft of that, used a lot of their ideas for this. And so it ended up getting Disney like sued a couple times, but I don't think they gave up any money. So you want to talk awards?
Yeah, sure.
There's so many. This ends up coming out July 9th, 2003 on a $140 million budget. Made $654.3 million at the box office. And it was number 3 for the year.
Wow.
Number 5 was Bruce Almighty. Number 4, The Matrix Reloaded. And then the only 2 movies to top this were Finding Nemo and The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
I have a question.
Right.
Do you have like the whole list? I want to know where the other Matrix landed. Like what the difference
Oh, because they
was
came
between
out
the
the
two.
same year.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there a big
I
difference?
actually do have the list pulled up. Let me see. Revolutions came in at number 9.
Okay.
So it did lose some. I mean, look at this. Domestically, Reloaded made $282 million, and the third one made 139. So like half
Wow.
the people that saw Reloaded didn't bother going back for Revolutions.
That's crazy. Only a few months later
That is
too.
kind of crazy. Yeah. Um, I guess we should start with the Oscars, huh?
Oscars, it's the red carpet, it's the red carpet and the gowns and the tuxes. The Oscars, it's the big night for Hollywood, the red carpet and the golden man.
Johnny Depp was nominated for Best Actor, and he lost to Sean Penn from Mystic River. They lost
Is that
sound
my
editing.
daughter in there? That's a line from that movie, I think.
Okay. They lost sound editing to Master and Commander, sound mixing to Lord of the Rings 3, makeup to Lord of the Rings 3, visual effects to Lord of the Rings 3. Okay.
Yeah.
The Saturn Awards.
Saturn is between Uranus and Neptune. Saturn, whoa! Sci-fi blessed films.
Johnny Depp nominated there again, but he lost to Elijah Wood for Lord of the Rings because
Oh,
they
wow.
love Lord of the Rings at the Saturn Awards. It was nominated for Best DVD Special Edition release, lost to The Two Towers. Best Director, Gore Verbinski was actually nominated, lost to Peter Jackson, of course, and they lost Best Fantasy Film to Lord of the Rings. They lost Best Makeup to Lord of the Rings, Best Music to Lord of the Rings, Best Visual Effects to Lord of the Rings. Jeffrey Rush was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He lost to Sean Astin for Lord of the Rings. Okay? It's crazy. The only award it won at the Saturn Awards was for costumes, which it also ended up winning. Oh no, never mind. It won a different thing somewhere else. And Keira Knightley was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She lost to Ellen DeGeneres for Finding Nemo. I told you the Saturns love giving acting awards to like voice performances.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
Knightley,
I was impressed with Keira Knightley in this movie, watching back.
I was not. And Keira Knightley, she it was like, really? That's a movie star? That's who we're calling a movie star?
I thought she was
Crazy to me. I don't know. I can't look at her anymore. Ever since A Dangerous Method, when she does that thing with her mouth.
Yeah,
It's
I know what
like,
you're talking about.
you do know what I'm talking about? Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
All
It's
right.
like a
It's like jutting out her bottom teeth.
yeah, it's like that like
It
weird
dri-
underbite to take.
I think about that every time I see her now.
Yeah.
Anyway, She was nominated for. They did a special award that year called the genre face of the future. Who's
Okay.
going to be the face of the future of sci-fi fantasy? All right,
Gotta be Orlando Bloom.
He wasn't even nominated, dude.
Oh.
She was nominated in the female category, but she lost to the actress Melissa George.
Who?
You familiar with Melissa George?
No.
She's an Australian actor. She was nominated for this for her role in the final season of Alias, but she has done a lot of stuff. I don't know about Face of the Future. That seems
don't know.
crazy. Dude. I think she's maybe the mom in the Amityville Horror remake.
Oh, really? Blonde
Yeah.
woman?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The BAFTAs.
The British Academy of Film, Television, and Arts. BAFTA.
They actually won for makeup and hair. I'll give them that. But they lost everything else. Costumes, they lost to Master and Commander. Visual effects to Lord of the Rings. Sound to Master and Commander. And Depp was nominated for actor again, but he lost to Bill Murray for Lost in Translation. Okay. The Golden Globes
It's
also
the
nominated Johnny Depp for Best
GGs.
Actor in a Comedy or Musical, and he lost to Bill Murray for Lost in Translation,
Wow.
even though Jack Black was also nominated for School of Rock and obviously should have won.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. The MTV Awards. Let's hear that.
If you want to hear an episode where we did a tournament of all the themes, patreon.com/thefranchise.
Yeah, and someday I hope to do that with all of Logan's themes, but right now his only theme is the MTV theme. Let's hear it.
Oh, you were queuing me up to do that. I didn't realize
Yes.
that's what you were doing. I want my MTV. Wow.
That's good stuff. All right. Johnny Depp again nominated for Best Comedic Performance, but fucking MTV knows what's up. They gave it to Jack Black. All right.
Good.
But they also nominated Depp for Best Male Performance in a movie, and he won that. All right. Now, Best Movie, of course, went to Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom were nominated for Best On-Screen Duo. Okay. But they lost to Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore for 50 First Dates.
That's cute.
That is cute. Best Villain, they were nominated for that. I guess Jeffrey Rush, right?
Right.
He lost to Lucy Liu in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
No
Keira Knight.
Saruman for this one? Or Sauron, I
not.
guess would be the one.
No. Here's the thing about Lord of the Rings is say all the cool, nice things you want about Lord of the Rings. The villain sucks.
To you?
It's an eye on a mountain.
I thought it was an eye on a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you think the eye is the best eye in the Lord of the Rings universe? That's the eyeball. Hall
Of course
Fame?
it. What other one would you say is better?
All right, you're right.
Come on. Get out of here.
Keira Knightley was nominated for Breakthrough Performance by a Female. She lost to Lindsay Lohan. for
Right.
Freaky
They don't
Friday.
remember her from The Phantom Menace? What's she breaking through here?
No, 2003 was her real breakout year, though, because she did this and Bend It Like Beckham.
I remember she's in The Phantom Menace as the little
Of
body
course,
double.
I remember. She's one of the decoys.
Yeah. That's what she's famous for.
Didn't we do a commentary track on that?
Yeah, we did. We did do that.
Check out our commentary track, patreon.com/the
I think that's on the YouTube channel. Oh, the commentary track's on the Patreon.
Yeah, but you can watch it a
Like
little
a 5-minute video.
sizzle, like a sizzle reel
Yeah.
on the YouTube. Yeah,
That was like one of our first ones.
I know, and it was good. It made me laugh. People's Choice.
The people make the choice. It's up to the people to choose as they see fit. Fitbit choosing the People's Choice Awards. It's the choice awards to the people.
This movie was the People's Choice. They gave it Best Movie.
Wow.
And Teens, they nominated Knightley again for like Breakthrough or whatever, but she lost again to Lohan. And come on, I looked up Lohan this year. Not only did she have Freaky Friday, she had Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, and then Mean Girls was like early 2004. So like, what a time to be Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, when she was having a great time.
You know,
The
they're
perfection
making a
of her life.
sequel. Did you hear about that?
To Mean Girls?
No.
Isn't there
They
already a sequel?
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan posted on Instagram this week that they were hanging out. And the buzz is that there's going to be a Freaky Friday sequel, and that's why they were hanging out.
Are they getting Mark Harmon back? Isn't he in Freaky Friday?
I sure hope so.
That'd be
I
cool.
won't watch a Freaky Friday film without Mark Harmon involved.
Yeah, you won't get us to the theater if Mark Harmon's not there.
No. NCIS stands for No Chance I'm Seeing It.
I love it. And NCIS Los Angeles stands for No Chance I'm Seeing It, Los Angeles.
That's right, baby. All right. Um let's just talk about it. You ready? Pirates.
It's a great movie. I can't wait.
It's not. Here's the thing. I'm gonna let you all down
Long.
right
It's a
now.
little long. I'll give you that.
I really don't like this movie, and
Why?
I am not. I've never seen any of the sequels. I didn't see this one. I didn't like this when I saw it originally. Okay, I didn't see it in theaters. I saw that. I thought the trailer was stupid. I thought the idea of the movie was stupid. What are we doing? Okay, and pretty much like the stars of the movie, other than Johnny Depp, are the chick from Bandit Like Beckham, the white girl, and the dude from Lord of the Rings, who's like the pretty boy with long. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing this shit. Okay, but here's what happened. I was working at Blockbuster at this time, and when it came out on DVD, I didn't even use it. I got 5 free rentals a week at Blockbuster. Didn't even rent this. Didn't even use one of my 5 free rentals on it. That's how little I gave a shit. Okay.
But it's
But-
it's more, it's not that you didn't give a shit. It's kind of more like you're making a statement. It seems like I'm not gonna watch this. No,
I mean, the statement is that I don't give a shit.
I guess, but it's not that like it's not that you don't care and that like it's nothing.
It
in
is
your
that I
life.
don't care.
It's
I'm
that
not
I'm
interested.
never gonna watch this. It's like Avatar too.
Because I'm not interested in it. It's not I'm not making a statement by not seeing Avatar 2, Logan. My statement is that would be 2.5 hours of my life I wouldn't enjoy.
Okay. Well, I got news for you. We're doing those next.
Are we really?
I don't know.
Not next. There has to be at least a little break.
Your new co-host can pick whatever he or she wants to.
I
I think it should be a girl. I think you should honestly. We've had like 4 co-hosts. They've all been guys.
Logan, I'm not actually finding a new co-host. I'd be the one to leave. The future of the franchise is you doing it with a girl.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be as funny, but
Maybe Emily Ehrenberg.
Yep, and you can continuously talk about the 3 movies that she knows about.
Which ones? What are her favorites?
Legally Blonde.
You already did it, didn't
Yep,
Dang it.
you're already out there. That's a bummer. You'd have to recover those.
you?
What else does my sister like?
Probably not franchise movies.
I don't even know.
Maybe like Something's Gotta Give, something like that.
She doesn't like that. No,
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to guess. The Holiday, like one of those movies.
no. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Okay. What about 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah, you could probably get into that.
I love that one. Okay, that'd be a great episode. So
Yeah.
we could do all the movies with 10 in the title.
Yeah, you guys could probably do Love Actually if you want.
All right. I like Love Actually. Do you know I like that one? I feel like you don't.
It's okay. It's got like literally 30 storylines. So like,
But I like
15
them.
of
I like
are
them
good.
all for
That's
the
not
most part.
bad.
they're all like a 3 or above. I feel like
What about the one where they're making a porn?
I love that one. 'Cause it's cute because he's like the stand-in porn guy, and he's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like awkward, but it's
It's
like
so
cute.
stupid, dude.
The dumbest one's the Keira Knightley thing, actually.
What's the Keira Knightley one?
she's like married to Chiwetel Ejiofor, but then Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead he likes her. He's like the videographer for the wedding or something.
No,
but he,
I
like,
mean, I remember him doing the thing with the cards. She like
Yeah.
comes, they're like watching a movie at Christmas time. She goes to answer the door. He's there with cards.
they're just friends, but then he loves her and he like confesses his love to her.
Wow, Rick Grimes.
Coral.
Kira, Kira.
He would have been a great Will Turner.
Oh, right, Tim. Anyway, so I watched this like at Blockbuster. We had a TV that you could like play movies on, right? But
Yeah.
you couldn't even play PG-13 movies. You could only play PG. I think this was PG-13, but they were like, well, it's a big new release, Disney. Fine, we could play this. So
They probably would have let you play it even if it was rated R.
very good. So I sort of saw it through osmosis at first, and then like one night it was really dead, and I had this movie on, and I pretty much watched the whole thing.
And
That's
you
the
didn't
only
like it.
time I'd ever seen it, and I didn't like it. Then I never saw it again until last night.
Yeah. All right, and you still don't like it, I guess.
Yeah, I really don't. I really wanted to, because I like Sparrow. I think Sparrow's a good character, but here's the thing: I think it's kind of badly made.
Why do you say that?
Like the sets all look really, really fake. Like the backdrops are bad. The CGI is very much like of its time and has aged really poorly.
But compared to today with like Ant-Man Quantumania, like everything is gonna look bad.
This
for
looks as
everything.
bad. This
No, it
looks
does
just
not.
as
That's
bad.
bullshit. That's bullshit.
It's
This is
not.
real. It's like a lived-in quality to it. You feel like you're on the boat with them.
I don't feel that way at all. To me, the boat feels like a boat that was built for this movie. And like, no, it has never been like none of the ships felt seaworthy to me.
All right, it feels good.
Whereas
Obviously,
you go watch Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World from the same year. These feel like ships that have been like in operation for decades.
Yeah, well, maybe by the second movie we'll feel a little more lived in. But I get what you're saying. That's a good point. But I don't think that the sets. I don't think they were bad sets or anything at all. I think the complaint, like
The set where the treasure is looked like shit.
great set, awesome treasure, great lighting.
You mean the moon
Cool
coming down in that
choreography.
one little area so that if someone walks past it, they can become a skeleton for a second?
Exactly. Took a lot of setup.
Why are they skeletons? I tried
don't
so
know.
hard with this movie. I couldn't remember why. I was like, I know they stole a treasure, right? And it's cursed, right? That's why they turn into skeletons by moonlight. But who cursed it? In the movie, they say the
Bootstrap Bill.
heathen gods. It wasn't. It was the heathen gods.
Oh yeah, but Bootstrap Bill just gave Will Turner a piece so that they couldn't go back.
That's right. Yeah. So they required his blood to like get rid of
Right.
the curse or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. It's and also like if you had the ability to be a skeleton, why would you want to not be the skeleton anymore? Because you're basically immortal, kind of. You know, like they want to go back to humans, and it's like why?
I mean, it's by moonlight, man. Imagine you're like, you made it to like a town. You're in a saloon. You pick up a hooker. Then you're in bed with her. The moon shines through your window. You're a skeleton. No one wants to look like that.
But she couldn't kill you, at least if she tried to. You know.
I guess, but aren't there more things in life than not being killed?
Aren't there more things to life than having sex with a hooker in a saloon?
I don't want to look like a skeleton at any time.
Okay, but that's what it comes down to, kind of, because Jack Sparrow is like, hey, wait a little while until we beat all these people as skeletons, and then you can go back to normal people. Like, use the skeleton as an advantage.
Well, yeah, it's true. Like Jeffrey Rush is like, "Why'd you shoot me? It's not like you can fucking hit me." And they're like, "That was the bait and switch. Like, you are bleeding." And he's like, "What? I didn't notice, even though I was just shot through the chest with a cannon."
Bro, it's a dramatic moment for a movie. It's a cool moment. You don't think when he looks
It
down?
doesn't make sense.
I agree, but it's cool moment. I like the
It
moment.
doesn't pass the sniff test. You know, it's like that moment where they're underwater. They show them walking along the
That's
bottom of the ocean floor. Okay, and their heads, they have a canoe over their heads, right? And they're able to stick their heads in the canoe.
That's
and
real.
talk to each other. That's not how water works.
Daniel, I have news for you. That's exactly how it works. I've done that with my brothers.
On the floor of the no. You can walk along the ocean surface.
You can put
With
a
the-
bucket on your head and talk, and not water's not in it. Is that what you're talking about?
What are you talking about?
The way they were doing with the boat, like upside down, and they could talk to each other? Is that what you're complaining about?
Yes.
That you can do that.
You can't do what they're doing.
I've literally done it. You're going to tell me I can't do something I've done?
You've walked along the floor
Of a
of
swimming
the
pool,
ocean,
not an ocean.
Well, that's a different thing.
And with a big bucket on our head. And we
This
talk
wasn't
to
a big
each other.
bucket. This was not a bucket. This was a canoe. This was
Okay.
a wooden canoe.
That can happen.
They're walking along the ocean floor with a canoe above their heads, still completely submerged in water, and they show them having completely unobstructed conversations with one another. It's one of the dumbest things.
air
It's one
bubble.
of the dumbest things.
It's like an air
that would
pocket.
would not create an air pocket.
How not?
Physics.
How do you float on water in a canoe anyway?
They're not on water. They're underwater.
But I'm saying it's the same way, but reverse. Now it's underwater, upside down.
I can't do this with you. You're wrong. You're dumber than normal people.
I mean, I've
And I'm
literally done
telling
this
you,
before. I don't.
You
I
have
don't-
not done this.
Not with a canoe, but I've done it with a bucket upside down. And I've
Okay,
talked.
first of all, why are you walking around a swimming pool with a bucket on your head?
Because of this fucking movie. Because I saw this movie and I was like, can you try that? Yes, you can.
So you went underwater with your brother in the same bucket.
It was
Over
like a
your
big
heads.
bucket that we had. We were like, hey, let's take this. Let's get in the pool, hold it, go to the bottom, and see if we can do the thing they did from Pirates of the Caribbean. And we did it. We
This
were
never
talking
happened.
to each other. All right, it never happened.
You're not whatever it is that you did, it's not what they did in this movie.
You're right. We were not on the bottom of the ocean with a canoe, but we were on the bottom of a pool with a bucket that we turned upside down. And we were doing the same thing. Like, is your problem that it's a wooden canoe and you don't think that it would work?
Logan, if you can't see that this is one of the dumbest things that's ever been in a movie,
I mean,
then
I literally
don't
did
even
it
know how
once.
to talk to you.
I don't understand the problem here. Like, we could do this. Like, if we had a bucket, I could show you what I'm talking about.
I will pay you $1 million to go film yourself doing this.
I don't know how.
Walk
I get the
along
camera
the
down there.
ocean floor with a fucking canoe on your head and have a perfectly unobstructed conversation with a pal.
I hope somebody listening understands how crazy you sound. Because this is real. Happens every day, probably. Somebody's listening to this podcast, probably under a
Nobody is listening to this thinking anything other than like, is Logan retarded? Like, is he actually retarded?
Because you can get your AirPods and you can put them in and then get under the canoe and head into the water, and your AirPods wouldn't get messed up because you would be unobstructed by the water. So,
Do you really believe that?
Yeah. I hope somebody listening understands what I'm talking about.
Anyway, this movie's a 2, and MVP, I don't care, and LVP, I care even less. We'll be back next week for Dead Man's Chest and At World's End. Good night.
Did you like Zoe Saldana? It was pretty cool seeing her. Do you know she was in this movie?
Yeah.
How'd you know that?
It is because I saw the movie.
Oh, like at the time you knew Zoe Saldana in 2004?
Oh, but like I remember when she came out, I was like, that's that girl from those scenes.
Oh, okay. It's pretty cool.
She's
I'm
the
not
only
sure-
black person in the entire fucking movie, so she's memorable.
That's not true. There's like a few black pirates.
Yeah,
I
there's
think.
there's a couple of demon pirates that are black for
Yeah,
sure.
because they turn into skeletons, but you can still the like hairs floating underwater. I remember whenever they were walking. That was a cool moment. All right. I mean, I thought it was cool. I like the part when they get exiled on the beach. Elizabeth and Jack Sparrow, and they're drinking the rum. Made me always want to try rum. Never
It's
have.
not good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Is that just
yeah,
the pirates drink rum? I feel like it is.
You understand that rum still exists today in a world without pirates.
Yeah, but I associate it with pirates. I don't know if it's because of this movie or if that was like a real drink pirates used to love.
It's a thing. They used to say yo ho ho in a bottle of rum. It's like a pirate cliche.
Okay, so pirates did like the rum.
They also like to rape people. Not a lot of that in this movie.
That's not necessarily true. Like they do talk about it. Like there are lines like we're gonna. I think it's like Jack Sparrow. They're like, what are you doing? He's like, I've come to rape everybody. Just kidding. Something like that or something. And then like later when they make Elizabeth Swann strip, they're all like, ooh, that's kind of a little rapey, but doesn't fully get there.
But then they make her walk the plank.
Yeah,
like,
it
if this
it
was
never
like an
gets there.
actual pirate story, I would argue the crew of the Black Pearl would gang rape Keira Knightley.
No, you're right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
never fully get there. Thankfully,
But it's fine.
in my opinion.
We're just doing it.
I guess not in yours. You would have liked that.
No, I wouldn't have liked it, but it's always weird to me when we do these really sanitary pirate stories. Like pirates were fucked up.
Yeah. In Buffy, we mentioned it, right? Halloween.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They get to
When
that.
Larry turns into a pirate.
All right, so you're gonna give it a 2 or a 1? Would you say 2?
Yeah, I think this is a bad movie. Like I don't even understand it really. Like usually when there's a movie I don't like, but it's like as much a phenomenon as this, I can like see it. I'm like,
I think it's
I
a great
get why
adventure.
people-
I love
Even
all
when
the
I saw
costumes.
Avatar, the first Avatar, because I was like, I do sort of get what people like about it. I'm not into it, but I sort of get it. I don't see it in this. Like it's Johnny Depp, right? That's what people like.
People like the romance
What romance?
between Will and Elizabeth.
It's barely present. Like they don't.
Well,
talk
it's yet
about
to
it the whole
come. It's
movie.
like blossoming.
And then at the end, well, I'm only talking about this movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the whole pirates phenomenon. Yeah, people love Jack Sparrow. That was the big thing at the time. I guess so.
Because Knightley and Orlando Bloom don't bring much to this thing.
Well, he's coming off he has Troy this year, doesn't he? Isn't that 2003? He's like a big star, up and coming star.
Yeah, they're trying. And a couple years after this, he tries for an Oscar movie. He does Elizabethtown with Cameron Crowe, and that didn't pan out. Like,
Right.
the problem with Orlando Bloom is he has no charisma.
Very handsome.
He's very handsome.
Dated Katy Perry, I remember.
Oh yeah.
Think he's got a large penis from what I remember.
Why do you know that?
I think there's like shots of him on the beach or something.
I don't remember seeing that.
I think it was like a thing at the time. Like, look at Orlando Bloom's big hog on the beach.
I'd be
Orlando
shocked to
Bloom
find that out.
penis. Yeah, me too, kind of.
I don't think his
it's blurred.
charisma is so grand.
It's blurred out. He's on a canoe. Oh, here it is. He's on a canoe with Katy Perry.
And does he look like he has a big dick?
It looks uncircumcised. I can't.
How'd you find it? I want to see it.
You gotta look. I just looked up Orlando Bloom penis, but you gotta like. There's a lot of images of it blurred out.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it unblurred.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal sized penis, but it's
Is it uncircumcised? I couldn't really tell.
I think it's circumcised.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. But Katie had her
He
back
looks
turned. She
he
was
looks
not
so
uninterested.
happy. Yeah.
She doesn't care what's going on back there. All right. My MVP, I'll go with Johnny Depp.
Yeah. I don't want to, but you gotta.
Runner up, Keira Knightley. That she's good. All right. LVP, I'm going to go with the guy who wants to marry Keira Knightley but fails. Norrington.
Not me. I like that actor, Jack Davenport. It was good to see him. He's on the morning show now. He plays Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband. But you know what was interesting about Keira Knightley's character?
What?
Her name was Miss Swan.
Right.
And see, when I was a kid, there was a Mad TV sketch called Miss Swan.
Really?
Yeah. And it was Alex Borstein in fake Asian makeup playing like an old Asian lady. And her catchphrase was, "You look like a man."
Wow.
Yeah. And
I
so
was-
very early on in this movie, someone calls Keira Knightley by her first name, and she says, "I only wish to be called Miss Swan." And I was like,
Keira Knightley said
"I'm
that?
happy. Yes." And I was like, "I'm happy to call you Miss Swan for the rest of this fucking franchise."
Kind of makes me not like her. Somebody called her Elizabeth, and she said, "Only call me Miss Swan." From
Well,
now
I think
on."
she said it to some nobleman.
Oh, okay. I always I always thought that they did Bella Swan because of Elizabeth Swan.
Maybe. I mean, I could totally see like Stephanie Meyer doing that.
And I always would get them confused. But anyway. So
Okay.
all right, there we go. Ryder Strong gives it 1 star.
Good
He
job.
hates it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Shout out to Ryder. Loving it.
I tweeted at him, said, "Hey Ryder, why do you hate this movie?" But he never responded. I did tweet him this morning. But all right, the
Hope he
Patreon,
responds.
nobody had any questions, so no, that's all right.
Good.
All right, we'll be back next week, right? What are we doing next week? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to watch these next 2 movies. You might have to find a girl for this next episode.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Who wants to watch Pirates 2 and 3?
Oh, look at this. Paul Scheer from How Did This Get Made? And The Human Giant and many other things. He gave it 1 star on here.
Wow. He's on Letterboxd?
Yeah, he's on Letterboxd.
I didn't know that. Is it a review or just a rating?
No, just a rating. And Paul Rust from the show Love, of course, and I Love You, Beth Cooper. He gave it a 3.
Oh, I thought you were only going to point out the people who are on your side.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Did we say that?
No, it's a
Who cares?
2. It's a 2.
All right. Next week we're doing bonus episodes. There's a new Hunger Games. Of course, you guys remember Daniel and Henry did the Hunger Games. That was a lot of fun. Those are good episodes.
The Ballad of Songfire and Snakebirds. It's coming out soon.
Songbirds and
It's
Snakes.
directed by the guy that made Constantine, and it's a prequel.
I'm hearing good
That's what-
stuff. I feel
those
like
are the things I know about. I've heard mixed.
I know
things.
Rachel Zegler is in it.
Oh, a great Jew. So I mean that it should get some pushback. This film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was Snow White. Is that what people know her from? Or West Side Story? People probably know her from that.
Yes, but now people just want her to get beheaded by Hamas.
I remember her from her breakout video on Twitter where she sang "Shallow."
Shallow now. Everybody.
That was a great video, Rachel. I loved it. All right. Well, what else are we doing? We do a wrestling show that's coming back this week. We're doing We're doing a Survivor Series 1987 and Starrcade.
And Starrcade 1987 with some WrestleMania 3 talk as well. I've already watched all 3 pay-per-views for that show.
Wow.
And we're also doing Equalizer 3 next week. And we have Hey, I'm Watching
Buffy.
Here coming up.
Right.
But the Buffy show, we're doing 5x5 and Where the Wild Things Are over on Angel and Buffy. And that's $5 for the the Patreon. And I mean, even if you don't listen to it, come on, man. I could use the $5.
We watched some movies for Hey I'm Watching Here. The Killer. That was fun. Netflix movie. I'm sure you guys
Yeah,
watched it.
I'll talk about The Killer this week on Hey I'm Watching Here, and I'll also talk about probably some other stuff. Oh, I wanted to go see the new Alexander Payne movie, The Holdovers. I'll talk about that.
Wow. Yeah, I was wondering if that was if you went to the theater to watch that one.
I did.
I guess so.
And I also watched that movie Dumb Money, which is like based on the GameStop thing.
Yeah. I saw Skinamarink, guys. You guys have probably been
my god.
Loving Skinamarink this whole year.
Get pumped for Logan's great upcoming YouTube video ranking from best to worst the scariest corners in the movie.
I thought about it while I was watching the movie, but then we got to like too many good corners, and I was like, this would be impossible to rank. I can't do it.
Yeah, this tier would be difficult. This corner tier.
Yeah, the top tier would be too crowded. I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it, but I did consider
too many great spooky corners in that house.
Yeah.
What about
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Did you get really scared in Skinamarink when the toilet appeared and then disappeared?
Yeah. I actually did. Well, I mean, I didn't know it was pretty silly when it happened, but I was like, that was kind of the one scary part, because that would suck if your toilet disappeared. Like, that is like a kind of a fear that I had never thought about, but could happen to you guys.
But there's a lot of shooting outside in the Pirates. See, that's the thing. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. There's so many implications. Like, it should feel like outside and grimy and gross and of its day. And like,
what about the score? We didn't talk about the music.
Every bit of it just feels like it's just shot on a set at Disney Studios.
And it felt like they had the music, like I don't know who made the score. I'm sure it was somebody famous, like Howard Shore or somebody. But he sent in the theme, and they were like, "Damn, it's like it's so good, so we have to use like all 8 minutes of it right here at this part." So I feel like they're like stretching for time to fit the score in there a little bit.
I didn't even notice. I didn't think the score was particularly distinguished.
What are you talking about? Are you serious?
Is it really good? I barely noticed it.
Of course it is. Dun, 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 dun. You don't know that?
Yeah, I know. It sounds like something out of Lord of the Rings.
I mean, kind of. It's like
I
that
found it
Indiana
annoying.
Jones.
Like when it was playing over the closing credits, I like bailed earlier than I usually do in the closing credits because I was like, I can't listen to this fucking thing anymore.
Oh my god. Well, that's probably a big problem for you then, because the music is one of the big sticking points for a lot of people.
It's so bombastic.
It's fun. It's a big Disney adventure film.
Who does it?
I don't know. Should I look it up? I feel like I should.
Yeah, they don't have that on IMDb on Letterboxd.
Oh, really? That's what I was on.
It's Klaus Badelt. He's Hans Zimmer's assistant. That's who they got to score this movie. So yes, congratulations, an incredible score by Hans Zimmer's assistant.
All right. I mean, you can bash it, and then the listeners can hear it as the outro and be like, "Daniel was wrong. That's crazy." But I don't know what you're talking about. Dissing this.
Okay. I just want to say before we leave to our listeners, nobody try to go under the ocean and talk to each other in a boat. You will die.
You're doing it in a pool, though, from all I know.
I don't want to be responsible for any deaths just because you're getting bad advice from my dumb co-host.
Yeah. Here's some good advice. You guys should all watch No One Will Save You.
Save it for Hey I'm Watching Here. Jesus Christ.
I'm giving this to the public. Check it out. This was a terrible episode, so I'm giving them something to leave on.
Is this a bad episode?
I mean, it was like an hour long, and 20 minutes of it was us arguing that I'm gonna have to cut out about Mount Rushmore. So probably, and people were like probably excited for this. So I would say so.
Well, what else is there to say? Like, it's a bad movie.
All right. I mean, I guess there's nothing else.
And there's not that much going on. Like most bad movies. Like I just watched Heavenly Bodies from the 80s, which is about a dance studio and a dance and an exercise marathon.
Yeah, they got the boom mic. There's no boom mics in this.
That was a bad movie that I can talk to you about every scene of. Okay. This is a bad movie that was just 2.5 hours of nothing. I got to like 90 minutes in. I thought we were wrapping this bad boy up. I checked the time. I was like, there's an hour left. There's a full hour. And this is like the shortest of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. This
Oh,
is going to
really?
be a nightmare.
One of them, I think, broke the record for the biggest budget ever. I think it was like $350 million.
Yeah. I hope the
think it's like
effects
at World's End or something.
I would hope the special effects look at least a little better than they do in this shit.
I thought it seemed pretty real. It seemed authentic. I
You
was
also like
oh,
Van
that's
Helsing.
like- I don't like Van Helsing. I love Van Helsing.
I mean, the special effects in this look like the special effects in Van Helsing, therefore really bad.
I agree with everything you said except for the bad part.
All right.
You thought what? Cocaine Bear looked better than this, probably.
Yes. Cocaine Bear is a better movie than Pirates of the Caribbean.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I believe
All right.
that.
We'll be back next week, guys. We're doing the second. What's the second one called? Dead Man's Chest, and the third one. What's the third one called? On Stranger Tide, or is that the fourth one?
That's the fourth one. It's
What's the third?
At World's End.
Okay. By the way, I always thought it was weird. Second one, Dead Man's Chest. Fifth one, they go right back to it. Dead men tell no tales. They're going right back to the dead man thing. Didn't like that. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Take us out, Hans.